What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Universal Mastery. So what I do on my channel is I break down the occult sciences and I break them down to a very practical level so that you can use them and apply them in your day-to-day life and get real, actual results, okay? Now what I'm going to be talking about in today's video is a short video, but I just want to get this information out there. So what I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to be covering all the planets, just once again, just to put that information out there and just to make sure that people understand the importance of these attributations. Okay, so I'm going to be covering all the planets. What I'm going to be talking about in today's video, if you're wondering right now, is the planet Mars. And as I said, I will be covering all the planets, so I'm going to start with Mars. I just feel like starting with Mars. And I'm going to give you my perspective on Mars. Now, I'm totally into astrology. Astrology is 100% real. There are many professional astrologers that are on YouTube, and I just want to give a huge shout out to all of you. You know, I love watching astrology videos, and my goal for this year, 2021, is to become a professional astrologer myself. So far, I've mastered spirit invocation, evocation, and full initiation through the Kabbalah. So now the next thing that I want to master is astrology. I'm definitely way farther ahead than the average person, but there's a lot more people out there that can break it down in much more depth than I can. So what I'm going to do, once again, I'm just talking about the single planets. I'm going to give you some of their attributations. This is going to be some of them. Definitely make sure you also look at other videos that have this similar information on these planets, because I'm going to give you my attributations that I can think of, and then there's going to be other videos that will have different attributations that they'll give on this same planet. Okay, so going right into it. So Mars. Right into it. So Mars, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to give you like a perspective that probably most astrologers aren't going to give you, because once again, I am a practicing professional occultist. So I use planetary energies to perform ritual on a mass collective level. Okay, so I'm going to give you some symbolism of how you can use that planet to pull in that planetary energy within your spells or your ritual, within your magic. Okay, so once again, we're starting with Mars. So here we go. Mars, the color that's attributed to Mars is going to be red. Okay, and Mars, the energy that Mars carries is fiery. It is you could think of like a passion. At the same time it's got that fiery passion, it's also a warfare planet, which means although it may be fiery and passionate about something, it is also willing to go to war, and very willing and able to go to war for what it believes. Okay, so the way I'm describing this is the energy that Mars carries. So when you get influenced by Mars, let's say Mars hits a certain cycle in regards to your natal birth chart or in our solar system, you're gonna feel this fiery, passionate, yet aggressive energy. That's just what Mars carries. So Mars is that warfare energy. For all wars that have ever happened where people have literally fought to the death, there was an influence of Mars in those battles. So you can think of, in regards to spirits that are attributed to Mars, you can think of any spirits that have to do with war. So the god of war, that would be attributed to Mars. So any spirits that are fiery and are willing to go to, you know, will give you this energy to destroy and burn through your obstacles, that's going to be correlated to Mars. So, you know, obviously me, I'm a Kabbalist and I work with the Qliphoth, so I know a dark spirit that's attributed to Mars, which is Asmodee. Okay, so that's the one that I worked with when I was going through my Tree of Life initiations. So there's that. Let's see, what else? So now that we know that Mars is this fiery, this passionate planet, yet the god of war at the same time. How can you use that in your ritual or in magic? Or how can you just channel that energy? Because remember, like, a lot of people are going to hear this and they're going to be like, oh, I never want to work with Mars. Like, it's about war. It's about it's about, you know, potential death. You know, it's about aggression, right? But think about that. Think about that energy and think about your obstacles. You know, if you carry that Mars energy with you when it comes to facing your fears or when it comes to facing challenges, who can stop you? You know what I mean? You're gonna approach those challenges from a warrior standpoint. And the whole start to reaching success is to embody the warrior spirit, man or woman, right? You embody the warrior spirit. That is the start of success, because it is natural. You're going to face challenges in your day-to-day life. It is imminent. That is the only thing that is promised. And if you don't have the ability to face your challenges and be willing to battle them and overcome them, even be willing to exert forms of aggression to overcome them, then you're never going to reach your highest potential and you're never going to get to where you need to get, because that is a part of evolution. It's a part of life. You know, things fight for survival, and it's just a fact. And there's that energy behind Mars in those regards. So how do you pull Mars into your space, right? How do you pull it? How do you get Mars to influence you? So, for example, as I said, the color that's attributed to Mars is going to be red. So with the knowledge, because the knowledge is the power, with the knowledge that I'm sharing on this video, you can use a red candle, right? You can use a red candle. You can get multiple red candles. You can light them. And that would be signifying Mars, okay? The red candle would be signifying that you're trying to pull in Mars energy. But remember, to the average person, it's just a red candle. But because you have the knowledge that comes from the intent that's now interacting with what you're doing by lighting the red candle, you know what's going on. You're activating Mars. That's what's creating the energetic pull to bring in that Mars energy. That's what the magic is, with a C and a K. Okay, so you can use red candles, and then you can do invocations of a spirit that is directly connected to Mars. So with the one that I shared would be Asmodee. Okay, so these are all little things that you can do. And once again, what would you use Mars for? What would you use this energy for? What you need to know is that, once again, Mars is aggressive, it's also passionate, it's fiery, and it will go to war. Okay, these are facts. These are 4 facts right here. So whatever you feel like you could use that energy on, whatever you could, if you could harness that energy right now and then direct that in a certain area, that's exactly what you can use Mars for. You can use it on yourself. So if there's things in you that are blocking you, right? Like mindsets even. If there's things in yourself that you're not satisfied with, you can use that on yourself to pull in that energy and destroy those obstacles that are stopping you. So for example, like, let's say, you know, you have an eating disorder where you just can't stop eating unhealthy, right? You just always at night, you always go to get candy or junk food or whatever it may be. Well, pulling that Mars energy into you with the intention of having it destroy your blocks, instead of at night going for that unhealthy food, now that you're pulling this Mars energy in, you're pulling it in, you're gonna feel a little bit more aggressive. So you might get a little bit angry. Like if you start feeling this urge to go eat that junk food, you may feel a little bit of aggression that's like, no, I'm not doing that. And you may go and bust out like 10 push-ups or 20 sit-ups or 15 jumping jacks, whatever it may be, instead, because that's what warriors do. It's discipline, right? Instead of giving into weakness, we fight for what we want, and we fight for what's right, which is your health in this scenario. So that's what I'm gonna leave it at. That's my little spiel on Mars. once again, giving you the occultist perspective as well. You can pull this Mars energy in. That's what high magic is. Okay, high magic is working with planetary forces in regards to your own evolution. Okay, low magic is working with, you could say, like elemental spirits to manifest more so material things. You could say more so mundane things, but the key is you want to balance both. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm gonna leave it at. So if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. Also hit the notification bell because I post videos as often as I can, and hit the subscribe button. I love to see my subscribers go all the way up. And definitely make sure you go and you check out my Patreon. If you hit the description, it's gonna be that very first link at the top. It says my Patreon right next to it. On my Patreon, I have exclusive content. Some of that content is gonna be geared towards actual occult practices that I perform on camera, and I teach you how to perform them yourself. For example, I have a video on how to do an invocation, which means essentially bringing a spirit, an external spirit, energetic intelligence into your own being so that it can integrate its powers within yourself. So what that does is that gives you more psychic awareness, that gives you more psychic protection, and that gives you more psychic power. Okay, so that video is only accessible on my Patreon. Now, the other bit of the videos are going to be geared towards educational entertainment, which is a video that's very similar to this one. You know, the video is entertaining to watch, but at the same time, you're getting a lot of value. Okay? In order to gain access to these exclusive videos, you have to at least be a Tier 2 member or up. In order to be a Tier 2, it costs $9.95 a month. And if you do the math, that literally will come out less than $1 a day. So there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that, especially with the value that's on there, and I promise that, okay? As you go up in tiers, the benefits increase as well. With that being said, I would love to give a special shout out to the top tier members of the Patreon. Their names are going to be mentioned right below that Patreon link. So huge shout out to you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. And, you know, huge shout out to all the Patreon members, and huge shout out to everyone who, you know, follows my channel. I appreciate all of you, okay? And with that being said, that's where I'm going to leave it. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day or night, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.